Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Let There Be Talk. Today is going to be a handmade episode. It is a special Thursday episode, and it is February 1st, the first day of February. Aquarius. I only know that because I'm Aquarius. I'm Aquarius with the moon rising on a soft overglow. I don't even know what that... I do believe in that shit, though. I can always tell when I'm not vibing with someone. I'm like, oh, are you Scorpio? And they're like, yeah, how did you know? I don't know. All that stuff is just a little entertainment to read to take your mind off your problems during the day. Like, let me look at my horoscope. Man, they are dead on. How do they know? Anyway, my birthday is going to be Saturday. This Saturday, February 3rd, I will be 52 years old. And only reason I say that, I'm not sitting here like, hey, man, it's my birthday. Start wishing me happy birthday. No, I'm telling you that because at 52 years old, I am in the best shape probably I've been in since high school. And it was not easy, and it's still not easy, and every day it's a challenge, but I constantly get emails, how do you do it? Well, my guest today is one of the ways that I do it, and his name is Daniel Katz. I don't know what you were doing when you were 18 years old or 17, but this kid invented a vegan protein bar that gets me through the fucking day. I'll tell you, because when I got diabetes a couple years ago, I didn't know what to do. Doctor was just like, yeah, grab some brochures, see you later. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? And I've said it over and over, and everybody keeps emailing me, what do you eat? What do you do? It's hard. Yeah, it is hard. It's fucking, it's crazy hard. We're addicted to sugar. We're addicted to shitty foods. And I miss it every day. But with things like Daniel Katz protein bar, which is called the No Cow Bar, that's NOCOW. I always have to spell it. It helps me. Because when I first got the diabetes, I would be out at night doing comedy and I was afraid to eat. I didn't want to spike my sugar and, I didn't know what to do, and I was reading stuff online, and everybody's like, eat this, don't eat that. Oh, no, you can eat this, don't eat that, and don't eat after 6, don't eat after 7. Everything's different for every human, and what you got to do is just figure out what works for you. And thank God I found this bar. It's got 1 gram of sugar, 22 grams of protein, and around 10 o'clock at night when I'd start to get faded at comedy clubs, my brain would get hazy. I hadn't, I'm not eating enough, like here I am. My doctor said, you need to eat a 4th meal because you're not like everybody else. You're out working real late. And so I got these no-cow bars. And after trying shitloads of bars, and let me tell you, this is not an advertisement. This is straight up just giving you a tip because it's going to save you money. And I wish people would tell me like right away, like, no, all these protein bars are bullshit. Eat this one or don't eat the, So anyway, I started eating these bars and quickly I was no longer afraid of my diabetes. I was like, okay, I'm starting to figure it out. I wake up in the morning, maybe I have a protein shake and a small little thing of oatmeal and a little bit of fruit, some strawberries and blueberries. Then I go to the gym, I work out for 1 hour. And it's real easy. I do about 30 minutes of cardio. I do some stretching. I do some light weights, push-ups, pull-ups, and I'm out of there. And then I come home. I have like a no-cow bar. And then a few hours go by and I'll eat lunch. Eating lunch will usually be like some quinoa, maybe some black beans, quinoa, and some pesto. Maybe a little bit of chicken sometimes. I'm not completely vegan. I call it degan, where I'll eat some meat. This week, I ate meat like 3 days in a row. Pretty much unusual, but I was at a comedy club that served incredible burgers, and I had to have that. And then they had some smoking tacos. But anyway, if you try to go extreme on something, you usually fall off the fucking tracks down the road because you go, oh, fuck this, I'm out, and you just go back to your crazy ways. But if you just kind of try to keep it realistic and exercise, man, that is such a big thing of it. Even light exercise and get out, walk around the block. I know you worked all day, you're tired. I get it, man. Even if you started with just walking around the block or bought a bicycle off Craigslist and just cruised it around the block or rode bike to work or something, man, you're gonna be ahead of the game. Anyway, my guest was an absolute honor to have him on. He is a smart kid. I wasn't doing shit except playing rock and roll and doing drugs when I was this guy's age, and this is already his, I think, fourth business. Incredible guy. He has an incredible product, and I highly recommend you try this stuff, even if you aren't diabetic or anything. This is a great snack midday instead of getting Snicker bar at work or fucking candy or your cup of noodles, which is an absolute bowl of Satan. Anyway, you're going to enjoy it. And the reason it's a handmade episode is this fucking guy made this thing by hand, by scratch. Didn't know shit about any kind of making of a protein bar and ended up making one, and it's on shelves all over America. So that to me is self-made and a description perfectly of a handmade episode. I love you guys. I hope you have a great Super Bowl weekend. I plan on moving on Sunday. I'm going to skip the Super Bowl. It'll be the perfect time to move. There will be no one on the road for a lot of hours, and I can get back and forth and move some shit and try to stay in my new crib finally. I'm looking forward to that. Another chapter in my life. I've looked at the previous addresses, and this is my fourth place of living in Los Angeles. And at first I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But no, what happened was I lived in one spot for 13 years, and then a spot for a year, another spot for a year, and one spot for 3 months. That's how quick I wanted to get the fuck out of there. Anyway, another chapter, and 2018. See what it brings. Looking forward to it. If you want to come see me do some comedy, here's some upcoming road shows. February 15th, I will be in Santa Barbara with Bill Burr at the Arlington Theater. Buffalo, Helium, March 8, 9, and 10. I will be out your way. And then March 11th through the end of the month, I will be in New York City at the Stand. Arizona House of Comedy, May 17th through the 20th. Those are some of the dates coming up. I love all you guys. I want to tell you, keep the candles lit. Thanks for all the great reviews. We're already at 1,017 on iTunes. That is epic. And don't forget to, if you want to donate to the podcast, you can at patreon.com/Dean Del Rey. And a special shout out to my amazing donator this week, Mark Brunot. Mark Brunot, you are a fucking king. Keeping the wheels greased, keeping the power on, keeping the microphones in check. Mark Brunot, you rock. Thank you so much. I love all you guys. Enjoy this Thursday episode and try to change your diet this year. Candles are lit. Here we go. Daniel Katz. All right, here we are. Great episode right now. Fantastic guest. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Daniel, but everybody calls me D, and I am the founder of No Cow.
That's insane. You look like you're 9 years old.
It's pretty close.
It's so funny. Either you're like 40 and you got the Dick Clark disease, or you're like, how old are you?
21.
21?
21. Yep, so I started it when I was 18, but 21 now.
Now, I want to give a little background because a couple years ago I got diabetes, and I'm like scrambling for what I can eat, what I can't eat, and in midday I'm getting faded, like, oh God, I'm not gonna make, because I was like on this really strict diet, still am. And I would look at these bars, these protein bars and protein shakes and everything, and they were just loaded with sugar and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially like Cliff bars. I was like, I might as well be eating candy bars. Here it is the whole time I was eating those things, thinking I was eating healthy, and they're just loaded with garbage. And then I come across this No Cow bar, and it just happened to be a fluke because I was just trying each one at the store that were low in sugar, There was like the One Bar, there was Quest, there was all this stuff. And so I bought them all, and then I ate yours, and it was like the only one that didn't taste like chemicals. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I didn't feel all like bloated on it and everything. And I was like, God, these are great. And I've been pumping them everywhere I go to everybody. They're like, hey, what do I eat? And then it turns out you're like a kid. And these bars, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm 52.
Yep.
You know what I mean? When I was your age, I wasn't making bars. Maybe weed bars or something, or some mushroom bars. But I wasn't making a vegan protein bar. You know what I mean? Now, how does this all come about?
Yeah, no. So, to your point exactly, you look at this protein bar category, and it's, in my opinion, it was a big shelf of these candy bars in disguise, high sugar, artificial ingredients. It was nothing more than kind of just a glorified candy bar that was injected with a little bit of protein. And what really kind of hit it with me was the fact that about 3 years ago, I developed a dairy sensitivity.
Yeah.
So I would be working and eating 2 to 3 bars a day and got these crazy, crazy stomach aches and could not figure out what it was.
What kind of bars were you eating? Just ones off the shelf?
Yeah, off the shelf. I was very into health and fitness, still am, so I was trying to find bars that were high in protein, low in sugar, and the whey protein just gave me these crazy, crazy stomach aches. So I checked the shelf for everything I could find to find a dairy-free bar that fit my health and nutrition needs also, so low sugar, high protein. Best thing I could find was like a snack bar, fruit and nut bar. That obviously wasn't going to cut the protein and sugar content, so I decided to make my own. That's how it started.
Well, now, okay, I want to get into 2 questions on that. First, were you vegan, or was it an idea to have a vegan bar? Were you vegan before?
No, so I am not vegan. The product happens to be vegan, but we're certainly not a vegan company.
Right.
So it was really created from a dairy sensitivity need as well as a health and nutrition need.
How do you set out to make your own bar? Like, where do you live?
So at the time I lived in Cincinnati, Ohio.
So
I live in Denver now.
Yeah, and there's definitely no good food out there, like, healthy food out there.
No, we got a bunch of wings and ribs, and that's about it.
Yeah. Which I love, but I'm saying,
Sure.
It's like, so you're like out there and you go like, okay, I want to make a bar. Now look, I've sat around thinking about I want to make something. How did you dig into finding that and start making a bar?
Yeah, well, it's simple. I mean, it has to become an obsession, and that's it. I mean, for me, it was I woke up every single morning and, with the thought process of I need to figure out a better way without the way. And, it was something that really just every single day, it kind of led me to do something else. So I started with, I want to create this product. How do I do it? I need to find a formulation team. How do I do it? And every single day, just by knocking off these little victories along the way, it kind of led me down a path to eventually meet with retailers and really just pick up the phone and cold call them, meet with contract manufacturers and really kind of pick up an MBA in a month or 2 prior to launching the product. And it's all just through research.
I get all that, but how do you get the bar?
Yeah.
fuck everything else, because
I hear
everything
you.
else
I
is
hear
like,
you.
once
I
you've
hear
got the product,
Yep.
people, you'll find people to sell them or whatever. But
Yep.
how do you make a bar? Are you in your kitchen going, okay, I got some ingredients? You're looking at some competition's bar and going like, okay, they got this junk in here. What can I deduct from this bar?
I hear you. I'll give you the real story. So,
Yeah.
or the full story. So basically, I set up an entity called D's Naturals.
Uh-huh.
Why? Because I was a narcissist at the time, named it after myself. I couldn't think of anything else, but that was
It
really
was close to D's nuts.
Exactly, which we received, believe it or not, a lot of marketing attention for.
D's natural nuts. Good thing you weren't selling like nuts.
It was
D's
funny.
natural.
That was actually my first marketing campaign, because we have a nut butter,
Yeah.
and it was D's Nuts on Facebook, and it was to date, I think, the most successful
That's hilarious.
marketing campaign.
Anyway.
But anyway, so I set up an entity, and I called all these big suppliers and said, "Hey, this is Daniel. I'm head of R&D for D's Naturals."
Yeah.
They didn't know who the fuck D's Naturals was, but they figured, if he's head of R&D, it must be a decent sized company.
Yeah.
So they would send me a bunch of free samples rather than me having to go to Whole Foods and buying stevia.
Of bars they're making that aren't labeled or anything?
No, I'm sorry, of raw materials. So ingredients, sweeteners, flavors. So I called flavor houses, I called sweetener suppliers, I called protein suppliers, and they would just send me a bunch of free samples. So I had all these big bags of free flavorings and everything that I wanted to create and eventually put into a bar.
But what were they, just powders?
Yeah, so like rice protein powder, pea protein powder,
Right.
stevia powder. The flavorings are little liquids, and so it's kind of all the raw materials that you need to be able to create a product at mass.
And are you reading, are you on YouTube looking at people making bars at home, or are you Wikipediaing? How are you figuring out, what do you do? Do you bake this shit?
So what I started was I kind of looked what was already on the market, found what I liked and what I didn't like, and realized...
What did you like at the time?
I'm not going to name any brand names, but I realized pretty quickly that it could not be baked. I think baked kind of puts you in this category of higher carbs.
Oh, really?
And for me, I was looking for something that was high protein, low carbs, low sugar.
Right. Were you thinking diabetics too, or just gym people because of the keto diets and all that stuff?
To be honest, I was thinking me. I was thinking, how do I create a product that fits my needs?
Right.
And then later on, I realized a lot of other people had the same needs. So it was really a product created for my own dairy sensitivity and health and nutrition needs. And then, as I started getting into it more, I said, hey, this could be huge for diabetics. This could be huge for vegans. And, we started iterating from there.
So if you're not baking it, what was the next option? Is it like a kind of like a cookie dough that kind of just gets harder or something?
Exactly. So it was mixing, basically. So I put it in a big bowl. I put all the materials together. I said, if I want to get 21 grams of protein in this bar, I need to have this many of this ingredient, and had to figure out the math there. Put it all in a bowl and tried it for the first time. Didn't come together. Didn't work. Didn't look anything like a protein bar. Yeah. So I tried it. I don't know.
Are you working a job while you're doing this?
No. So I went to Indiana University for I was only, I guess, 16 or 17 at the time. Dropped out after 3 months.
Wait, you were in university at 16?
So
You're like some wizard kid?
Trust me, my teachers would not say that, but I graduated high school a year early.
Wow. You are like a fucking smart dude.
More or less found a way to cheat the system than get, excel and get the good grades. But so I real quickly, I'll touch on that. But I basically went to Indiana, dropped out after 3 months, moved out to Los Angeles, started a beverage company.
Whoa, what one?
You would never hear of it because it was a big failure.
Wow. So you were kind of like an entrepreneur. You're like, first you wanted to do a beverage. Like, are you watching Shark Tank and shit like that? Are you doing that?
No, it was something from very early on. I mean, when I was younger, I had some weird businesses. I used to buy and sell cars. I started a car dealership in high school, bought and sold a house. I decided, I don't know why I wanted to do this, but decided I was going to breed reptiles. So I bred reptiles and started a business for that. Which, as you could imagine, in junior high school was like the cool thing to do.
Yeah. Tarantulas and shit? What did you have?
No, I had leopard geckos.
Oh, yeah, those were hot for a while. Yeah, those are great.
People were paying $500 or $600 a pop for these things.
Wow.
And I would ship them across the country. It was a very weird
Were you
time.
going to those leopard cons and shit?
No. I kept it in my parents' basement.
They have those, man. They have
No,
these
trust me, I know a bunch
big
of
reptile things here out in Ontario or whatever.
Totally.
And just people roll out of their basements and like, I need a gecko and a python, you know?
People will be amazed. There's a lot of reptile buyers in the market.
Oh,
so.
there is, man. People, I follow this guy on Instagram, this guy Chris. He's like a king cobra dude. Oh, I can't stop.
See, that's hardcore. I don't know if I can
know. He's a fucking nut job, man. He's like, it bit me today. He's got like anti-venom, but his hand's all fucked up. This guy's a
that's the guy who like injects himself with venom and has the last 20 years or something? Is that the same guy?
Then he's supposed to be like, immune to it, but still it scars up all the, like, the venom fucks up your tendons and shit.
He's a badass.
Anyway, so you basically were doing a bunch of kind of small businesses that didn't do anything, but you get an idea of business.
Yeah, correct. For me, when I was 3 years old, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
That was just kind of my passion. It was what I was born to do, and it's what I love.
You're just trying to sell the neighbor kid an old wagon. Ah, man, this one's way better than yours.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it like Craigslist and eBay businesses and, all kinds of stuff. And so, yeah, really what NoCal eventually became was kind of like a combination of a personal need for, the dairy sensitivity, but also this entrepreneurial passion. And the two kind of mixed together. And it led me into CPG, which is consumer packaged goods.
Yeah.
For some reason, that's just what I enjoy doing, creating products and, allowing other people to enjoy them. So
you mix up your first batch, it sucks ass, and then a couple other
first
batches.
100 batches suck ass.
First 100 batches.
Yep.
And then at what point do you start figuring like, hey, this one's not too bad? Like, how many years? Is it a year? Is it like 6 months?
No. We're talking probably a week.
A week?
I probably made 150 samples in a week.
Whoa.
I'm telling you, when it became an obsession, I couldn't sleep.
It's like me with stand-up comedy.
Yeah, you just become obsessed with it, right?
Yeah,
you don't want to focus on anything else. And so that was is still, but was my life. And so I got to the point where I created something that actually looked like a bar, but tasted like shit.
Yeah.
So at that point, I, for some reason, thought, I'll jump the gun and call every single retailer in the country. So I did that.
What flavor was it supposed to be?
I don't even remember. I mean, this thing was as nasty as you get. Like, I probably mixed in like strawberry and blueberry. It was just a combination.
Well, when I was growing up, all vegan stuff. I mean, if you were a vegan growing up, I'm 52, so in the 70s, hippies were all over the Bay Area.
Yep.
And it was, they just ate dirt and rocks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
That's all there was to it. You always got the hippie kid at school, and you go, let me try that. You take a bite, you go, this is disgusting. I feel
people started packaging the dirt and rocks, and it eventually became a little bit better. So, yeah.
Exactly. Now, there's so many products out there. As I talk to people, they go, well, like, what do you eat? And I think the main thing is, and which is great to have you on the show, and more I talk about it, no one knows what's good and what's good for their body. And nobody knows anything about nutrition in America.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how everybody's like, I'm really fat, I don't know why. I go to Jamba Juice every day. That's my meal replacement. It's like, well, you just had like 4 shakes, So it's great to talk to people about stuff because these days I'm eating all kinds of shit that tastes amazing, like a Beyond Burger.
Yep.
I'm eating black bean pastas. This stuff, Bonza, that's another pasta.
My friend actually on site, yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Bonza, man. And good. Let's get him to start sending some cases here. But I love that kind of stuff. And once you find stuff, you leave that other shit behind. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you calling around, you've got a shitty tasting bar.
Yep.
But you're going to try to sell it?
Yeah, so I got meetings with Target. I got meetings with GNC, Vitamin Shop.
And are they trying it in front of you?
Well,
like, this fucking guy's wild.
So you got to get the visual. First off, I was 17 at the time. So you have a 17-year-old kid calling these multi-billion-dollar retailers who are used to talking with multi-billion-dollar brands.
Yeah.
My first meeting was with GNC.
Yeah.
So,
which is
health and nutrition stores.
But not only that, they're one of the places where I buy your bar.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nonstop,
yeah. And the mindset for me at the time was, well, not so much today, but back 3 years ago, it was the most competitive bar space. So the thought process was, if I can prove myself here, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
So I got a meeting with them. There are 7 executives sitting at a conference table, suit and tie.
Yeah.
I'm wearing shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I come in with plastic baggies of this bar that I made in my kitchen.
No wrappers, right?
No wraps.
Right,
No. This is, Ziploc bags with some bush that was sitting in my pocket on the way there.
They could have been edibles. Can you imagine?
Oh, exactly.
That would have been a great reality show. You just got a camera on your hat, and you go, here you go, try these. And they eat them, and then they just start tripping.
Yeah, that's crack.
Yeah. It's like,
I did think about sprinkling some sugar on top, but I didn't do that. Yeah, exactly. No, so what happened was they opened it up. I pitched them the concept. They tasted it, and they said, God, this is so great, but it tastes like absolute shit.
Wow.
That's what they said. They said, this tastes like shit.
Yeah. Well, why did they think it was great then?
So at the time, high protein, low sugar was really taking off for them in the protein bar category.
Oh, so you were giving them the numbers.
Exactly. So I was giving them the numbers and really pitching more of this plant-based world, the dairy-free plant-based proteins. 3 years ago, you couldn't buy plant-based protein. There was one thing that sold for $60 a tub at Whole Foods, but that was it. So nobody had really commercialized this.
Like hemp proteins and all that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I think they thought I was kind of onto something, the next big trend in this protein world that had been pretty consistent for the last 50 years of just whey protein, and that's it. So they said, listen, you need some work, make it taste better, bring it back to us, and we're interested in launching it. So in the meantime, I decided for some reason, some idiot, mindset that I had at the time was let me go to their competitor and meet with them and give them the shitty tasting bar and see what they think of it.
Oh yeah.
So I met with Vitamin
Shop. You're just hoping someone grabs it.
Exactly. I was hoping somebody would, and typically in this space, the mindset is to kind of start out at farmers markets and start with 1 to 2 stores at a time. But I wasn't interested in that. I was so obsessed. I was interested in sharing it with the world as quickly as possible. So I met with Vitamin Shop. Same thing. Walked into a room. They were a little bit, more laid back, and weren't wearing suits and ties. And they said, "God, this product's great, but it tastes like shit." Same story. They said we have a reset, which is when they change the sets within their store. So they'll swap out old products for new products. They said it's in a month and a half. He said, we want to invest in you, as the individual, and hope that in a month and a half you can bring us a product that tastes better and we can put it on the shelf. This was with packaging that wasn't even finished yet. I showed them prototypes of what I thought it could look like. A product that tasted terrible, and they gave me a month and a half, and I was able to get it done in about 5 weeks, and it launched in 300 stores nationwide. Hit the shelf just because they had the confidence in me, and
did you go?
That's how it started.
Now, once you got home, So when that bar launches at the Vitamin Shop, those are the ones I've been eating the last couple of years, because now we'll get into it, but now you got new packaging. But was that the bars?
Yeah, there was yes and no. They changed a little bit over time as, there was new technology had become available, and I started figuring out things in the lab. But yeah, basically, as soon as I got the go-ahead from them that if I could deliver a better tasting product, I started calling contract manufacturers or co-packers, so facilities to make the product for me. Found a formulation team, because obviously I didn't know what the hell I was doing in the lab, to help me scale it up or bring it to production type of levels. And the formulation team, in combination with me, made it taste good, or at the time, I wouldn't say it tasted good, but it tasted good enough to actually hit shelf. And that's how we launched the product. And then, as months went on, I would say, let's take a look at it and see if we can make it a little bit better. And it started getting better and better and better over time.
How do you protect yourself when you were going in to these formulation teams from stealing your bar?
Totally.
Man, hey, this is great. While they're making yours to the right, they're making yours, but a little better. You know what I mean? How do you protect yourself on that kind of stuff? So
NDAs, non-disclosures, and also saying, listen, if you help me with this, I'll pay you. So as part of the agreement is, if I pay you for your services, you have to sign.
And where was the people? Were they in Cincinnati or where you were, or did you have to go out of state?
Actually, in Ohio. I was very lucky. We used a facility in the Midwest, and it's amazing. The same facility that I ran 20,000 bars initially with early on is still running our products, more than $1 million a month now.
$1 million a month?
In bars, yeah. And they were able to scale with us and really support the company.
Now, when Vitamin Shop signs with you, do they sign with you at like, okay, we're part owner? Are they part owner, or what's going on with that?
No. So basically, the relationship there is buyer to seller. They wrote a purchase order, and a purchase order basically says we will buy X amount of bars from you if you can deliver by this date. So as soon as I had that purchase order, I was able to use that kind of as leverage to then be able to fund the production run and produce the bars and ship to them. So they don't own any of the company.
Then what happens with GNC? Do you come back, you got a better bar, and they start stocking it?
So
was it an exclusive with Vitamin Shop?
No exclusivity.
That's crazy.
Put it on the shelf. It really is amazing.
You'd think that Vitamin Shop would be like, we like this, but we want 50%.
Oh, totally. And
because we're going to put it in all your shops and you're going to make money. And you would say, yeah, I'm going to do that. That's fucking crazy that they just go, yeah.
Instead, and props to them for doing this, they said, listen, we get that you're on the verge of something that we think is going to be be really successful, and we want to be a part of that. And they didn't want to take advantage, and I think that
that's absurd.
That transparency
in America.
I know. Hey, that transparency is important. It is.
Oh yeah, I'd like to meet those people because they're like only 4 in the world of business. That doesn't try, especially a guy your age. They go, "Fuck this kid. Let's just rob this guy." You know what I mean? That's me just being in the entertainment business forever.
Totally.
I got this idea for the show. We're already doing that show. They just tell you that, and then they just do your show. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, especially in this industry, it's if I'm doing well, they're doing well, and vice versa. And, I think that with every entrepreneur, especially not necessarily knowing how long they'll be with one company and before moving to the next, or, with as much movement as there is in this industry, it's just so important that those relationships are always, if we win together.
Right.
And I was fortunate enough that every retailer we've partnered with to date has wanted to win together.
So what happened with GNC? I kind of interrupted you because I was just so stunned on that. But GNC, now you get the product running from the Vitamin Shop, and then they say, we want it too?
Well, it's on the shelf at Vitamin Shop. You got to keep in mind we had a $0 marketing budget, so most brands are spending millions of dollars a year in marketing, and I was spending zero. It was simply a product sitting on the shelf and people walking by and saying, I want that.
Did you have an Instagram account? Because you're at that age, because, I'll tell you, whenever I mention this product, which I feel like I'm part owner,
you are, and love that. Yeah.
Whenever I mention this product, man, it is the emails come through the roof. They're like, "Where do I get it? What's it called again?" You know what I'm saying? So, were you Instagramming and Facebooking and all that?
Yeah, so Instagram and Facebook were something I did. I would just literally pull out my phone, take pictures of me holding the products, and it was all organic. I didn't spend a single dollar until a little bit later on, and testing things like the D's Nuts campaign and that kind of stuff. But
you started with bars, right?
Correct.
And then went to the peanut butter.
Correct.
And now you have cookies.
Now we have cookies as well. Yep.
Right. Now let's get a little bit into ingredients. Now. It seems to me that whenever I'm dealing with a vegan type product, and I wanted to ask you this, why? There's high sodium. Where is the sodium coming from on these vegan products?
Yep. Yeah, so where the sodium content comes, at least for the no-cow bars, I'll use that as an example. As I'm sure you're aware, pea and rice protein do not taste great on their own.
Right.
It's something that just tastes horrendous and terrible. So in order to do our best to mask some of those aftertastes, we add a bit of sodium to it. It also helps to bring out the flavor profiles of it. And, given that our product, especially the bars, a lot of people are taking them pre-workout, post-workout, during the day, the sodium actually acts as electrolytes as well. So I think that, the big reason why we decided to add, we have like a little bit over 100 milligrams per bar, is to, 1, bring out the flavors, 2, help mask the pea and rice protein a bit, and then 3, be able to use those as electrolytes essentially.
Right. Now, how many of these bars do you eat a day? Do you eat them?
So I have to go off and on sometimes because you got to think, I started this 3 years ago and I've been eating 2 to 3 bars a day for the last 3 years.
Yeah. It's like working at Burger King. After a while, you're like, I'm not eating that shit ever again.
Exactly.
Yeah. So your stuff's shit. But I'll tell you, one of my main problems is I was addicted to candy.
Yep.
Addicted to sugar, addicted to sweets.
Yep.
Candy all fucking day. Swedish fish, gummy bears. any kind of stuff. So what I have to really watch out for is not eating them as a candy replacement. You know what I mean? They're more of, and where they saved my life was, this is how I started eating the bar, was I would eat regular meals during the day, but I stopped eating regular meals around 7 o'clock. But I'm a comedian, so I'm out till midnight or 1.
Yep.
There's going to be a pocket in there where I fade big time. And my doctor's like, you're unusual because you're up longer than most humans, so you need a 4th meal.
Yep.
And that's where this bar comes in. Mm-hmm. Somewhere around 8 o'clock, I eat it. And boom, I'm back to normal to do comedy. Before that, I would be faded like a dog, dude. Just like, whoa, I'm burnt. So, but now I have to eat one after I work out because I'm pretty hungry.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's the great part is everybody kind of has their own time period. So
right.
For me, I have one for breakfast along with a full meal. I have
with the full meal, you eat it?
I consume a lot of calories.
I get it. Yeah.
So I have mine with a full meal. I have it midday usually as a snack, and then I'll have one before bed even.
Before bed?
Yeah.
What is the point of that?
So for me, I've never really been addicted to candy or much of a sweets guy.
Right.
But when I get a sweet tooth, I can use the bars as kind of that curb over to get me through. So I think that's the great part. And one of the cool things we're doing now is trying to take a product that I created and put on the shelf and really transform into a brand.
Right.
Something that can play in multiple categories within store. So you'll see we came out with nut butters, we came out with cookies.
Right. The cookies are way less in protein. Why is that?
Yeah, so the reason we decided to do that was because it's called cannibalization, so meaning we didn't want the cookies to necessarily kind of take over from where the bars play.
So this is more of like a sugar replacement, maybe a sweet tooth thing.
Exactly.
Like Halo Top ice cream.
100%, yeah. So the cookies came...
So you're not getting that protein bloat too where you can't shit later? You know what I'm talking about? Because that becomes a serious
I wish
problem.
I had that problem, but,
but I mean,
I'm plenty fine there.
You gotta drink a lot of green or eat a lot of green, but if you don't, you start getting plugged up.
No, absolutely. So
that's more of like a sugar replacement, like something to eat if you're diabetic or something.
Totally. So, we could have easily put more protein in it. Again, one of the reasons we didn't is because we don't want people going for... It's a different value add. So the cookies are a little bit higher in fat, lower in protein. So if you're keto, for example, they're really great for that. But ultimately... a sugar replacement, and that's how the product was created. Was one night I had a craving for cookies, which is very rare. I'm not much of a sweet guy, but in this instance, I couldn't find a cookie on the market that was low in sugar, yet alone had any protein, yet alone was plant-based. So that's really how it came to be.
And are those made in a separate factory, like a baker or something?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what are we using for sweeteners here? It's fruit sugars, right?
Correct. So the main sweeteners we use are stevia, which has become really popular the last couple of years. And then monk fruit is kind of our secret one. And it actually comes from Asia, and it comes from a fruit called the monk fruit. And it's, I don't know the exact number, I think it's 300, 400 times as sweet as sugar.
Yeah.
And we basically use that along with stevia to cancel out some of those stevia aftertastes.
Are these things good for you or no? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because are they, are they healthy or they're just better than what's out there?
I'm not a big fan of better for you products.
Right.
I think that is kind of caught on to really play more of a marketing role than an actual transformation of people's lifestyle role. So for us, I think, and I stand behind it, that our products are 100% healthy. And, I always tell people that the bars, for example, are not made to be a meal replacement. So you shouldn't necessarily be sacrificing eating breakfast for just one single bar because they're so low in calories.
Yeah.
But, when you look at what's out there right now, if you need something on the go, I believe that our products are the healthiest options available today.
They're pretty damn good.
Thank you.
So now you repackaged because the original packaging, you just didn't like it?
So the original packaging took me 2 days, cost me $2,000, and
somebody drew it up for you.
Exactly. We just sat there with a freelance designer and created it, and that was the packaging.
Right.
I mean, I could tell you stories of all the mistakes I had, spelling chocolate wrong on the front of the packaging, and
really
it hitting 12,000 stores nationwide saying "Chulikit" on the front.
For real?
Oh yeah. I mean, so like too many to even name.
What else?
It's
that's fun stuff to hear, you know, because it's like failures that become a success. Because you can't look like, oh, I just hit it out of the park.
Well, that was last month.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
There's a couple, actually about a year ago that happened, but I spelled cacao wrong on our mint cacao chip, just due to maybe it was lack of education. I don't know.
Yeah.
We forgot to put a peanut allergen claim on the peanut butter bars and had to
wow,
throw
you get
out
in trouble for that?
No, we just had to throw out a bunch of packaging and had to have people come and put stickers on the back of it late at night. I mean, all kinds of stuff that goes wrong. But yeah, it's fun now because you get to look back and kind of laugh at it.
Once you get the bar made, is there some kind of regulations? Where do you go through food and drug, that kind of stuff? You got to go through them. How do you just get a bar on the shelf at the gas station?
Yeah, so I decided early on I did not want to mess around with any of that type of stuff, and wanted to be as safe as possible about everything. So we're manufacturing what's called an SQF Level 3 certified facility, which I know is meaningless to everybody listening to this, but it basically is like the highest level of certification a facility can have in food production. So the regulatory stuff we do for that is all raw incoming materials we have sent out to a lab, so we get certificate of analysis to make sure it doesn't contain E. coli or gluten or anything like that. We manufacture the product. We have super strict cleaning stuff. And then before we ship any out, we have to send to another lab to get tested to make sure it passes again.
Wow.
So very, very strict stuff. But the crazy part to me, especially starting this, was learning how easy it is to put a product on the shelf.
That's pretty scary, right?
It is. Any mom in their kitchen can put a label on something and it can end up on the shelf without any type of regulatories.
That's insane, because some of these bars, they taste like I'm eating chemicals.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I would eat it and be like, ooh, what is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
There is another bar I really like other than yours, and it's the RX bar. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I think most of them, an RX bar doesn't have enough protein for me. And it is kind of up there in sugar. I think it's 6 grams or whatever. So when you're looking for low glycemic, this was the ultimate bar. Once you get the bar, now you got a peanut butter also, right? And what's that for? Just like for peanut butter on like toast and stuff? Or people just eating that shit out of the jar?
Pretty much, yeah. Straight out of the jar is the way to go. But it's basically a protein-enhanced nut butter. So you're getting a lot more protein per serving than a standard one. Think like Nutella that has 0 to 1 grams of sugar, depending on the flavor, and protein. And that was really the goal, is something like super sweet and again, like a dessert, and a lot of our consumers actually eat it straight out of the jar as a dessert, like the same way they would Nutella.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Now you've redesigned the packaging, and it seems like, of course, this whole industry is a gazillion-dollar industry right now. As you repackaged it, was it because you're going to go to a next level? Did you sign with another company, or are you going to sell it, or what's going on?
Yeah, so back in February of last year, I got together with a private equity firm called 2X Partners, and then General Mills as well.
General Mills, wow.
Correct, and they became partners of the company. So they own a piece of the company.
Yeah.
And part of the mission there was really building out the team. So at that point, I had grown a company as a one-man army. It was literally me doing everything from accounting to marketing to sales to everything.
Wow. And what kind of money were you making at that time? Was it starting to come in, or is it?
It was. And, I think for me, it's always reinvesting and how do we get better as a company? And, I'm not a very materialistic type of person. So it was this obsession with, I wanted to grow this company. So everything that was made went right back into it. It got to a point where, in terms of revenue, in terms of store locations, that it was an investable company.
Yeah.
I was getting calls from all types of investors and large companies wanting to buy it, wanting to invest in it.
You get any crazy offers just for an outright?
There were a few. I wouldn't say necessarily.
You're all evasive, like,
And for me, you just got to look past that and focus on kind of the end goal. And for me, there wasn't really an end goal, but all I knew was keep on doing what you're doing. And, I want to grow this thing to where it's a household brand. So yeah, I felt really good about 2X and especially General Mills. I mean, they created like Nature Valley, which is the first bar to ever hit the market, really.
Exactly.
So what they can offer and what they are offering, on the R&D side and innovation and distribution, just everything, you name it, they're incredible. So decided to partner up with them, and part of that was that we wanted to hire a CEO. We wanted to hire a bunch of people, so we added on 12 people in the last 8 months or so.
And where you at? In Denver, or where you at?
So we actually have 2 offices now. One's in Denver, which is where I'm out of, and that's marketing.
Perfect place for this company.
Oh man, it's
you know what I mean?
Awesome. Yeah.
Pretty soon you'll have a no-cow bar with weed. It's a no-cow edible.
We've gotten plenty of requests.
A no-cow edible would be through the roof, right?
It would be kind of a little more expensive than our existing bars, but
but I mean, diabetics would be like, finally.
Yeah, I know. Seriously,
a no-cow.
The no-cow weed bar.
It's kind of like Ben and Jerry's. You just have the logos. Just it's green,
Hey, I'm sure we can. I'm sure General Mills would love to work on that one for an R&D project.
So you're out there, an office.
So out there, and then we have one in Long Island, New York, which is where our CEO sits. Back end, finance, operations.
Is that where you're living?
No, I'm Denver.
I gotcha.
So, Denver, New York. Got to go with Denver every time, right?
Well, I don't know. They're both great in
Long
their
Island.
own ways.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's different.
Yeah.
So. They say let's repackage and start putting this thing where are they going to be now? Because I see them at the GNC.
Yep.
I think is it Vitamin World and Vitamin Shop?
Yeah, we definitely have a lot more distribution than just GNC and Vitamin Shop now.
Right.
First off, it was ultimately my decision, even before this investment, to rebrand. It said my freaking name on the front, which I'm not a fan of. Everybody check me out. It's not really who I am. So I wanted to get my name out of the equation.
And what is it? It's still.
So we dropped these naturals. It's totally just no cow.
Wow, I just looked. Yeah, wow. I never even noticed that. So now it's just no cow.
Correct. So luckily we were
I never even used the D's natural. I thought
exactly.
I was just like, it's a no cow bar.
Yeah, we were in a good position where the no cow bar was what was catching people's attention.
I think the main problem with the name is I have to fucking tell these people 10 times it's no cow.
Not no
N-O,
cow. Yep.
And then like a cow, like moo,
Yep.
like no cow, like there's no milk in it. And then they go, oh, and they still don't get it until I show them a picture, and then they go, "Oh, no cow!"
Yeah.
I say, "That's what I said."
It's tough. It is really tough, and especially over
you
the phone.
picked a shitty name.
Especially when you have to give your email address out to somebody. It's at nocow, NOCOW.com.
I got the same thing, man. My email, it asks me like 9 times, like on my personal email, and I can't change it because it's hooked to my PayPal. I'm like, oh god.
Maybe we need to get the NoCal trademarked also.
So you wanted to repackage it before you signed with them, but what are their goals now? You got the new packaging and you've got new flavors, which, by the way, you've come out with. The one I always ate was the chocolate peanut butter.
Yep.
But now you got creamy peanut butter, and you've got carrot cake, which I like the 2 new ones a lot. So my 3 would definitely be creamy peanut butter, peanut butter chocolate chip, and the carrot cake.
Yep.
You still have raspberry and blueberry and the mint one?
We do. We have lemon meringue, which is one of our top sellers also.
Yeah, lemon meringue,
for us, kind of going forward, it's not necessarily just about how do we add new flavors, but how do we add new products, right?
Right.
New things like cookies.
What do you think?
For me personally, I think that there's a lot of opportunity.
Cream?
I think it's been a bit saturated, like Halo Top, for example.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them out now.
It's tough to play in there when there's such...
What else can you do, you think?
I'm really... Actually, the whole team here at NoCal is really focused on how do you take sugar out of products that people love every day.
Right.
And, for us, we've got this awesome sweetener, all-natural sweetener blend that we can ultimately do our best to replicate sugar, and then also make it plant-based and add a little bit of protein. So we're exploring categories that... we can really be first to market on, right? So things that people, there's a negative connotation with it out on the market right now where I'll just give you an example, muffins or brownies or something like that is just unhealthy. And we want to change that. So,
is there testing on your sweetener, like for glycemic spikes and everything? Are you doing that, like for diabetics? Because what I was doing was I was eating it and then test my blood in 2 hours, and I was like, oh, cool, no spikes or anything. You know? Are you doing that kind of testing? Are you more looking into the diabetic side?
We don't personally do any of the testing, at least on the glycemic stuff, in-house. You know, we rely on our suppliers pretty heavily on that to conduct that testing themselves. And, you know, part of this, like level 3 certification I was saying, where we have to get certificate of analysis, and it's sent out to a third-party lab, is to make sure that we're kind of holding our suppliers liable for that. So yeah, we don't do any testing for glycemic stuff in-house, but, you know, I always like to tell people that they should be you know, I don't want to say that our product is going to work perfectly for everybody. So, you know, they should be doing the testing on their own.
That's what I do. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's interesting because once you find something that works, it's like, okay, well, this is it, you know? Like, my paranoia was like, what if it goes away? You know what I mean? Because there are a couple other bars that I do eat once in a while in an emergency, and I'm always like, man, this is terrible, you know?
Yep, totally.
But it's so funny what you'll eat. Like, well, it's only 1 gram of sugar, so I'll just eat it anyway. But it tastes like shit, you know? It's so weird, man.
Dude, it's just a second on the lips, and that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're just trying to get that protein, that protein thing. You know, it's a strange world that we're in right now, because I really do think, and I'm 52, so I don't know when it's going to happen because of the giant corporations. You know, you got to look at corporations that run everything out there. It's like the sugar, tobacco, alcohol, fuels. You know, those are all the greed, and pharmaceuticals. Those are the ones that don't give a fuck about what happens to the humans at all. Just the greed machine. But there has to be some kind of serious sugar change, you know, because it's incredible how many people have diabetes now. It's like 1 in 4 or something of kids, you know, that are obese and have diabetes. So, you know, I think that it's going to be a damn gold mine pretty soon for anybody that sees this coming. Like, oh, I'm going to be making some money here, you know? Yeah,
and I think it's already started. You know, you see a lot of these big companies like General Mills, for example. If you told me 10 years ago, or anybody, that they were going to invest in a small guy like us and help, you know, make that company, you know, to where it needs to get it, people think you're crazy. So they have realized it, you know, and the problem with these multi-billion-dollar corporations is it's difficult to like, you know, do things differently than they've done the last 50 years. So for them to start a brand new company could cost them $100-200 million and be a big flop and a big failure, because they don't have much experience in, you know, working on short timelines and being flexible like small companies can. So
people need to save their customers, because they'll all die. Who are you going to sell your shit to?
Exactly.
You know? It's like, we got to start saving people so they'll buy something.
Totally.
You know?
It started. It has. And I think consumers, like you had mentioned in the U.S., you know, a lot of people would look at them and say that they're not very smart, but I think that they're starting to get a lot smarter. So
where are we going to find, what is the bump up that General Mills is going to get you? Is it going to be in more stores now? What is the plan for 18?
Yeah, you know, the big thing for me was really, I had a bunch of operational challenges, so they're helping a lot on that side of it. They've helped grow the infrastructure. We now have an awesome team, and you know, we're ready to kill it going into this new year. So, you know, it's not, I don't like to look at it as them versus us and how are they going to help us, but it's us. It's kind of one team. We actually, even one of the people at General Mills who we worked with now works for us, because he wanted to be a part of what we were doing so bad. So
did you give him like stocks or something? Or some kind of,
no, just loves what we're doing, you know? And it's been amazing the last couple months to see how many people have really wanted to be a part of this company.
Yeah, man.
Where 2 years ago, nobody gave a shit and thought our product tasted terrible. And, you know, I think that it's twofolds. One is a changing market where people are getting smarter. They're starting to realize, hey, plant-based protein is not going to taste like a candy bar. But you know, I think that's one piece of it. And then number two is just the fact that we now have the support in stores for people to understand what we do.
So what stores are we going to find it in?
Yeah, so
Ralph's, shit like that, Whole Foods.
So
it's not in Whole Foods yet.
It's not in Whole Foods yet. Unfortunately, they're going.
It's got to be some political shit in there, right? Like people like you can't have this bar if you want our bar, that kind of stuff.
Not necessarily that, but with Amazon recently acquired them, as I'm sure you heard, and they're going through a lot of stuff right now internally where it's like they're kind of just on hold, until they figure that out. So that's what's going on with Whole Foods. But this year's like a big changing year for us. So we just launched in Sprouts. We're in H-E-B in Texas. We're in Wegmans in New York. We're going to be going into a lot of what we call like mass retailers. So your traditional, like you had mentioned, Ralph's would be like a...
What about 7-Elevens?
We're working on everything. So this year we hope to expand distribution into a lot of the places you named.
That's pretty wild. Now, you think you'll get bored and just sell it? Because it sounds to me like you enjoy the process of doing some kind of new business, you know?
Yeah, for me, one of the reasons why I decided to partner up with Mills and 2X was because I wouldn't say I got bored, but I kind of hit this wall where,
you hit the ceiling. You got there at these places, but now what?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I was sleeping. I set up an air mattress in my office. I was living there. I slept there. I worked 18-hour days, 7 days a week. As a one-man person, right? I didn't talk with anybody unless they had something to do with the business. And, I kind of hit that point where I wouldn't say I was depressed, but I was getting a little bit bored. The company was growing very, very fast, but I didn't have a team of people. I was unable to I wasn't even able to take the amount of time out of my day to hire and educate people and kind of catch them up to speed and ramp them up so that they could join the team, because I was so focused on driving the company forward. I didn't want to like take a second to even step back and
enjoy the ride.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I one of the reasons why this deal came to be was, that's the number one thing I say, for the team is we need to enjoy the ride. And
it's true, man.
That's it.
Like I'm the same way.
Part.
Blinders on, comedy 24/7.
Totally.
And then, you're like, wait a minute, like I'm working my ass off.
Nope.
But I don't really see anything. But also, I enjoy the comedy so much. It's like, I don't really mind. Like, you enjoy your company, you know. But I'm the same way. I get to a certain spot in my career, and I'm like, am I going to sit right here? I've got to get somewhere else with this, you know?
Yeah. No,
same with this podcast. Like, let's have some different style guests on, you know?
Yeah,
and I can really see the... I start to see the effects because I'm going to show you a photo of me.
Yeah.
Here you go. You're going to love this.
Let's see it.
I can see the effects that people are loving hearing from me, who's like this rock and roll biker, comic, gearhead motor guy, as I'm talking about diets and stuff, people are like, it's almost like it's not a fat shaming, but the people don't know how to talk to their buddies about it. Like, dude, I'm fat as fuck, man. What do I do? And the other guy's like, I don't know. Let's get pizza.
Yeah.
So when you hear somebody talking about it and steering them the right way into stuff, they get excited. And I'm looking for this photo real quick because I posted it a couple of days ago and people went crazy. It's I've lost 40 pounds and I don't have diabetes now, which is pretty wild to think about,
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think that to your point, a lot of people feel like they have no support doing things like that, and
it's true.
They look like the
they don't
weird
have
kid
any
in a
answer.
sense, right? And
also, people
cool.
just say different shit all the time. One week, eggs are bad. The next week, eggs are good. Are we eating eggs this week? We're eating only the whites. Wait, you better eat the yolks now. Here's a photo of me right here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hey, dang, I'm right here, dude.
Damn. Man.
Anyway, that's me.
Look like a linebacker.
Yeah, right. I look like
That's crazy.
just a psycho dude, But and it was mostly I seeked it out because I had no health care. Mm-hmm. And these fucking doctors, instead of going, hey, maybe change your diet and exercise, they were like, okay, well, here's what you need. You need these insulin pills. They're $800 a month. Yep. Well, I don't have health care, so I guess I'm not going to be doing that. So either I'm going to, get a foot cut off eventually or just die because of what's going on in this country as far as health care. So I read this book that somebody turned me on to. I think it's called Beating Diabetes or whatever. It's and it resets your body by eating vegan for a couple months. And then I started just seeking out because there was nothing I wanted to do more than stand-up comedy.
Yep.
And why is my health going to get in the way of that? Then I need to change this because I must do stand-up comedy. So to find stuff like your stuff has really helped me and everything I've found. And I really love to spread the word of it, and tell people about it. So I'm so glad I found your product, and I'm glad you came to do the show, man. I've been trying to get you on like 6 months, but you've been busy and so have I.
Yeah. No, it's been tough, especially living in different places, right? So
now what you brought some cookies and what else you got? Okay, you got give us
some
the
bars.
Okay, what's this one?
So that's the chunky peanut butter.
Oh yeah, I love that one. Let's try the candy the
double chocolate cookie.
Yeah, what do we got? I'm gonna try chocolate chip.
Cool.
Let's try that. Now
I'd go double chocolate. That's my favorite, but you can go whatever you want.
I'll try it. Yeah. Now, okay, let's see here. Now these cookies, man. Okay. Yeah, this is good, man.
Yeah. So the big thing is,
You eat these all day or what?
that's the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
If
easily
you ate
accessible.
these all day, would you gain weight?
With cookies, yeah, you
Yeah?
would. Just because they're so heavy in fat content for the
really?
whole keto thing. Yeah. So totally. If you ate 10 of those a day, it would not be a great thing.
Well, keto, you want to eat a lot of fat, right?
You do. See that, and I think that's to your point. What you were saying before, you don't know if you should go keto or vegan or eggs or not,
Right,
and
right.
I think it's kind of on everybody to figure out their own diet and do their own research. So can't speak for anybody else, but yeah, I mean, if I were crushing 10 of those a day, I'd probably put on some weight because I wouldn't even think about it. But,
What is the fat on them?
So I think they're about 15 grams per cookie. The big thing for us though is sugar. It's got 1 gram of sugar for a cookie, which is just
Pretty fucking good, dude.
Thank you.
Like if I had like a coffee with these,
Yeah. I've done it. It works.
Really good, man. Wow.
The cool part about those is since they are heavy in fat content, if you do have coffee with them, fat is like a sustainable, it gives a slow release basically.
Yeah,
so
like a diuretic,
like bulletproof coffee. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it kind of gives you like a long-term caffeine thing without a crash. So it's pretty cool if you eat those with coffee.
These are good. Now, what flavor cookies do you have?
So cookies, we have double chocolate, we have a peanut butter, we have a chocolate chip, and then we have a snickerdoodle.
Oh, yeah, I had the snickerdoodle. It was great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. These are good. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, so you brought all different flavors. Yeah, right on. So now can you just get them on online on your website?
Yep, so you can get them on the website, Amazon, CVS, GNC, Vitamin Shop, a bunch of other retailers. But yeah,
what's
online.
best for you for them to buy? Straight from the website?
To be honest, straight from the website, it doesn't really impact us. If
Gotcha.
Again, we want to win together with our retailers. So
Right.
I think whatever's best. I think in terms of being a consumer, for me, it's easiest just to go on Amazon and have it there in a day or two,
Right.
or an hour or two, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But whatever's easiest for people.
Thanks a lot for doing the show, man.
No problem. Thanks
you
for having me.
You got a website, right? Tell them the website.
Yep, website is NoCow, NOCOW, not NoCow, .com.
Yeah.
Or you can just type it in Google and it'll pop right up. So,
And Instagram?
Instagram is at NoCow, NOCOW.
Facebook, all the same thing?
Everything's NoCow. Yep.
Right. And then when should people look for these like in stores all over right now? Well, they can get it at GNC. I get it there every time.
Yeah, I mean they're in a lot of the specialty stores nationwide right now. CVS carries them, which I think we're in like
A CVS?
Yeah, so
They
we're
do?
Yep, so we're in about 6,800 locations there. So pretty much.
Is it in mine over here across the street?
Should be.
I never even seen them in there.
Yeah, it's a lot of people don't realize that a store like that would sell our products, but we're
Wow,
doing really well.
congrats on that, man.
Thank you.
CVS is everywhere, all over New York, and those ones there too?
Yeah, nationwide.
Wow, man, that is cool. All right, well, there it is, guys. Make sure you try these out. Everybody keeps asking me, what are you eating? How are you looking good? I'm definitely eating 1 to 2 of these a day. If I work out a lot, I eat one right after I work out, and then I eat one if I'm out late night. So, like, if you're working long hours, this is the perfect snack instead of going for, like, donuts or whatever you're going to go for in that damn machine, you know, at your work.
Yeah.
You know, oh, there, I'm getting a Snicker bar, you know. They really do help me out, and I can't thank you enough for doing the show, man.
Of course, man.
And thanks
I appreciate
for your product, and congrats to you, dude. How old are you now? 21?
21, yep.
21. Wow. Man, I can't wait till you sell this and I see you on the cover of like Forbes. I'll be like, oh, I had that guy on the show. He sold it. Now he lives in Fiji. All right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the episode. See you later. Candles lit.